Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to No Blocks. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We got a tech for you. We got Drew from my local area on, and he recently top aided a Battle Hardened out in Tacoma on RKO. Somebody who I'm quite interested in playing and I think is very interesting to learn about. So I have him on here and he's going to show us what he played, the changes he's made to his deck since then, and what he thinks about it, and the future of the deck as well. So without any further ado, all
Yep.
right, Drew, welcome to No Blocks. I hear you top aided a Battle Hardened out in Tacoma.
Yeah. Somehow I did that.
Somehow, some
It
way.
felt good.
Yeah, I was out there for that Pro Quest, and I was talking to some people, and they had no idea I knew who you were, and they were talking about you. So I was like, "Hey, my local guy's getting some hype. Let's see what he's got to say about his deck, because you're obviously you're brewing the deck that I want to make next, the RKO.
Yeah.
So I was thought I'd get you on here and do a little deck tech to see how you do it, and if you made any changes since then.
Yes to both.
Awesome.
Uh, yep. So I can send you the, which is it's on the Fab TCG website under deck lists and events
Hmm.
somewhere around there. I'll send it to you now.
Yeah, if you just want to share your screen, we can do
Oh,
that.
that too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's even easier. Okay.
And then I guess while we're getting this up, how long you been playing the game? Let's a little history about Drew for the people who don't know.
Let's see. Time is an illusion, so I keep forgetting like how long.
Hey, if it can't be more
Like
than 6 years.
it cannot be. But I did so I started playing when Crucible of War came out around that time,
Hmm.
and COVID is happening, so I wasn't able to go play in person. It saved my wallet a ton of grief to not be able to play with real cards yet, but I was like, man, this game is really cool. I bought just my first deck I bought was Rhinar, the classic constructed deck from Welcome to Wraith.
Ooga booga.
Uh, and oh man, it's such a fun deck. But that's for later. Uh, so I played for a bit, like maybe a few months. I played in a league just to like have an avenue to play the game, and it kind of petered out. And then I think about 8 months pass, and I'm like, I just need to play a card game again. Like I'm missing that
Fiendin'.
part. I was fiending, and all I was doing was buying Magic cards, but not playing
Uh huh.
anything with it. So I was like, I'm gonna try Modern Magic, and then I'm gonna try Flesh and Blood again in person because in person stuff's happening again. I played Modern Magic, and the people were nice, but also it just wasn't. I wasn't having that much fun. It was not,
I
and
feel it.
teach their own, but it wasn't working out for me. And then I tried Flesh and Blood. Went to I think it was Northtown comic book shop
Uh huh.
because that was like the place to go for a long time in the Spokane area. But
Yeah.
oh man,
R.I.P. They're missing all the money
are
now.
they are, but they still have crowds for other games, so you know,
Yeah.
wish them the best. But just there's too many events actually happening for us.
Yeah.
Uh, but our player base is growing, but it's not
It's not
like it
huge
hasn't.
yet, but that's why we're here.
It's not huge, but it is reliable.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Pretty much every week, there's been very few weeks that have shown up, and it hasn't been enough to. I don't think it's ever been enough not to fire. But
No, we've never had problems firing unless it's a shop trying to get off the ground and it's at a weird time or day.
yeah.
Like then it can be kind of rough. But all that to say, I tried Flesh and Blood and I never stopped. So that would have been around probably so Dynasty was coming out soon. We have information. When did Dynasty come out? Okay. I need to actually type out Flesh and Blood. Dynasty came out 2022. So I probably started around September, like really started and haven't stopped since September-ish of
Hmm.
2022. Picked up Reinhardt again. It was actually looking at like, oh, has anyone, what are the decks that are good? And uh, Dromai looked interesting. I'm like, that's cool. Like that's a really unique new thing that they're doing. Uprising had just come out. Dynasty was coming out but wasn't out yet. And I bought a single box of Uprising,
Hmm.
and I pulled a cold foil Crown of Providence,
Oh,
And I'm like,
Destiny.
oh, okay, I'm in.
Yeah,
Like
it's meant to
this
be.
at the time, it was like a $400 card for the cold foil, like a $280 card just for the normal.
Uh-huh.
So like, I was like, oh my god, like half my deck in money has just been made
Yeah,
right
definitely.
now. And so I picked up all the Rhinar cards I needed. Swing Big back then was not as expensive as ends up being, but
Yeah, I think it's like $30 now for the
yeah,
non-EA.
that sounds about right. Yeah, and the EA actually just helps. It's probably pushing the price down, which is
Yeah,
funny.
I'm one of those dummies that spend the extra for the EA on the swing big because I just think it's funny.
I've just been playing with the same set of Swing Bigs since my first Pro Quest. So,
Yeah, I
like,
won my first swing big from the Pro Quest in Spokane, so I was like, well, I guess I got to get
nice.
a playset.
See, and then you get yours that's important to you,
Yeah,
right? And for me, I'm like, I just have an extra Swing Big EA now, but I kind of prefer the old one. There's just something about the art in that one.
yeah,
But
it's a
we've
little
talked
bit.
about that a lot in
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
um,
it's definitely a different style for sure.
yep. So I start back up in September, and I decide to actually play Rhinar, not Dromai. And I entered my first Pro Quest in like November of that year,
Uh-huh.
and I win it
You
on
won it?
Rhinar. Yeah,
Nice.
I won my first Pro Quest.
Man, that's what I thought
Uh,
my first video was gonna be. I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna play my first Pro Quest, and I'm gonna win. And it got close, but not quite, not quite.
I was gaming hard like back then because like Fi was the deck to beat,
Yeah.
and the finals was against Dash, like original Dash,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually ended up fatiguing them if I remember right. Uh,
That's one way to
no,
do
it,
it for
it,
sure.
it was a oh man, so much fun. Yeah, I was playing like Rolling Thunder and shit.
Yeah, I feel like I missed out on a lot of the cool fab stuff since I just only been playing a year. But
There's still
there's
plenty of
so
cool
much more to
fabs.
come.
So much more to come, and also like I really like. I think the meta is very open and nice right now versus where because I've definitely been through metas that are like, wow, I don't really have many choices here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Uh,
they do say there's like the triangle right now with Syndra, Verdance, and Gravy, but
it,
I think
it's
it's more
not.
like an
Yeah,
octagon, but there's just might be a little top heavy octagon.
yeah. It's I don't even know because the triangle. They say triangles are like the most stable or like whatever shape, like very solid shape.
Uh
And this is not a stable triangle. Like you can
No, yeah,
if
you take
you
Gravy
attack.
out, Syndra's probably falling hard.
Yeah, and not even just that. Like there's plenty of decks that can attack all three of them,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think that there's really solid plans that you can accomplish on all of them. Obviously, it's a card game at the end of the day, so
Yeah.
you're probably not. If there's a deck that beat all three of them and beat everything else, then we wouldn't. It would just be part of the new triangle, probably. So,
Yeah, I feel like Dash
but
is a little slept on. Dash IO. I think he's
Dash IO's
or she's pretty good.
she's very good.
I think
I
she's
think.
favored into Syndra. She's favored into
Mhm.
Gravy, and I think it's a fair. She might be slightly unfavored into Verdance, but it's not like
Yeah,
it's like 45-55 or somewhere around there.
yeah. Now, Dash IO makes a lot of sense for this. Tons of ways to attack this meta.
Yeah.
So that's and I don't know. I've been to a few pro tours now. Uh, I went to nationals this year. Very fun.
Yeah.
Uh, got day 2 at the callings. That felt cool. So it was the high seas limited
What were you
calling.
playing on that?
Oh, my sealed pool was Scurv, and it was a
Oh,
good
dang.
Scurv.
I'm waiting for that. I'm
Very
waiting
good
for
Scurv
somebody to
deck.
find the tech for Sage for that.
Yeah,
I think it'd
it's
be cool.
it's hard. The only thing that he really needs is Treasure Island in play.
Yeah. It'll be work.
uh, yep. But I don't know. Maybe Compendium will have something.
Yeah, and then
for him.
we're gonna be going to ProQuest in Vegas next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. The Pro Quests.
we're all gonna qualify. We're gonna go hand in hand off into the
I'd
sunset
love.
and win.
Nats was in Vegas this year, and it was very fun. I would
Yeah,
love to go do that
I
again.
think it's in. I forget where Nats is this year, but it's on the east side of the states, so a little bit less convenient. But
I mean, Vegas was already inconvenient enough for me, so it's
yeah,
like
it's about the same. I think it's a little bit. I mean, for us at least, I think it's a little bit more expensive to get there. I don't know about the hotels and
Mhm.
stuff, but
Yeah. I don't know. I just pretend like the 7 hours on a plane it didn't actually happen, and I actually just showed up there.
yeah, it's a time skip.
Yeah, exactly.
So all
All
right,
right,
well,
so I can share screen. You got it.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so it's not going to be in the format that I'd prefer because it's like just the dump of the list.
Hmm.
But going over, this is I mean, obviously it's an important list. It's the one I
The
top aided
official
with,
list.
right? It's the list that I top aided with, right? So cool. I also learned a lot about the list after I played it all day and saw where it fell short. And the next day in the ProQuest Plus, I got some unlucky. Like I started my first matchup into Florian, which is horrible for KO.
Hmm.
Like just not a good matchup at all. Probably his worst one. Um, but
You
so
think
I
it's the
lost that
worst out
match.
of all of them, or worse than the current meta?
Worst in the current meta, I guess. I can't really think of anyone else that's like worse than that, though. To be honest,
Yeah, I think Florian's fallen out of favor a little bit, but we'll see how
he
that
is. He
goes a
is.
long way
I'm not.
in the long run.
So it's kind of like when people are like, "Well, I lose to Kano," and it's like, "Well, how many Kanos are there going to be?" And
And
that's
for
kind
how
of where
much
Florian's
longer?
at. Yeah. So at the ProQuest or maybe the Calling, there were 4 Florians and 4 Kanos. So for that meta, it was literally like I was just trying to dodge the Florians, you know.
Yeah.
So obviously we have our hero card, which I'm actually just gonna bring up in here so we can see it better. Uh, the basics, right?
The
He only has
basics
1 arm, so you can only run a single Mandible Claw, and that's the weapon of choice.
for now.
Uh, for now, we'll talk about that. Uh, you can pay 4 resources and tap him as an instant to turn an attack action card you control into a 6 power card. Very cool. You just anything's a brute card technically
Yeah.
with 4 resources.
It feels very assassin-y, but with just numbers.
Yeah, he's a very good numbers deck, but he also can be tricky, and he can also rely on some RNG when he's falling behind with scab skin leathers and stuff. You can do some really cool stuff with the deck. I'm actually still trying to figure out if I'm bringing him or Reinar to the calling in Seattle in what is it now, like 3 weeks.
Yeah. It's probably
Um,
like 3 weeks, something like that.
yep. So whenever the crowd boos you, you create a vigor token. Vigor token is a token that gives you a resource at the start of your turn. So when you're trying to get booed, so that you have an extra resource because you pitch a blue and you have that extra resource, and that pays for your KO ability. That's like the typical pattern, right?
Yeah.
Equipment, we got Apex Bonebreaker. When it defends together with a card with 6 or more, you create a might token, temper 2. Very, very good. It's typically worth 5 value as long as you're doing the thing, but this deck does run less 6s, so you're not trying to always get that 6 out of, the might token out of it.
It's just
Temper
when you
2,
can, a little bit better.
when you can. Yeah, when you can, it's great. Like, there's plenty of hands that are like, oh man, I have 4 reds in hand. They're all 6s. I'm going to block 3 of them away, or no, 2 of them away. And then my Vigor token plus a red pitch or even a tunic equals, here's my CNC for 7 because you get the might token.
Yeah.
So you can do some really, really cool stuff. Just a classic brute card. Been out for a while. Spring Tunic. No one's ever heard of this card. Moving on. Not. The extra resource is super good. I mean, you want Vigor tokens to pay for that extra. So Tunic is when you don't have a Vigor token, you actually do.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good.
Every 3 turns you get that vigor.
Yep, and you can use it quite well. It is not hard to use it up. Mandible Claw. 2 cost, 3 damage. Discard a card with 6 or more power. Its attacks get go again this turn. I don't even know what to say. It's just the best brute weapon they've ever printed. And
I'm seeing some synchronism, compatibility with outside interference coming up.
Yeah. Yes, that is a very fun combo. Scabskin Leather's been out since the game started. You roll a 6-sider, you get that many action points halved. You roll a 1, your turn's over. You roll a 2 or a 3, nothing happens. Roll a 4 or higher, you're cheating on action points. You get to play multiple things. It's great. It also is Battle Worn 2, so it's just 3 free life. Plus, you're using it as all equipment to block on hits and stuff. And then Flesh Bag is pretty undeniably amazing. It is a very skill testing card. You have to know other people's decks quite well to get the best value out of it, and the hope is that you're getting at least 5 value out of it with the 2 block, and you're removing an aggressive card on their side. Uh, like if I'm playing against a Guardian and they have no arsenal, but they have 2 floating and a CNC's coming in, you flashbag that.
Yeah.
You don't even chance that they have a pummel in hand, because that will mess your life up. And now you're like, oh well, I was gonna pummel you, but now I can't. Or into Syndra, like if they have 1 card left, they're on their last chain link to hit. You can just throw your scabs and your fleshbag on a 4-power attack, get that card out of their hand. There's no mask happening this turn.
Yep. I
So
think you did that to me last night when we played.
yeah, when I was on Levia last night.
Yeah.
I love fleshbag. It's been such a good card.
And then
Before then,
go back to the scab skins real quick. We were playing last night. You're on Levia. I was on Syndra. Are we now? I'm new to Brute. Like I'm gonna build RKO, and that's what I'm going in. Are we rolling scab skins turn 0 if we're going first every time?
Depends on what your hand looks like, really.
So as long as if we can convert it, we're gambling.
I think so, and it also depends on the matchup, right? So, in this deck, it's more often than not yes, but it really depends, right? Like if I have an opening hand that has Sigil of Solace and a red Mocking Blow or something, like I don't know if I want to chance that. Like that's a really strong start to the game, right?
So is our preferred turn order go second?
I think it still go. That's a great. I'm actually not sure. It's probably more matchup dependent.
Because I know the life difference is so important on this deck, so
it's incredibly important. And so like
and the
against
deck
Syndra,
blocks really good.
It blocks really good. I'd say go second most of the time, probably, because you can just block pretty well, and if they want to overextend and not have an arsenal for the next turn on the first turn, like you're fine with that. If that means they leak a couple damage, because you have a ton of ways to gain life. It also allows you to convert when you're on it, Fiddler's Greens on turn 0 versus if you go first and you open up with like a Fiddler's Green or 2, you're just kind of like screwed on that.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do except like keep it in hand and wait. So I would say that going second is probably best for this deck most of the time.
Yeah.
That's not always true.
Yeah, it depends on the matchup, but just,
Totally depends on the matchup, yeah.
When in doubt, I guess. If you're not sure, probably second.
I would just say second most of the time, yeah. Okay, so this is the newer list, though. So now that we have an understanding of our equipment, the only other 2 things are the AB equipment, which is Skullhorn and No Rune Gloves. You can ignore the first text of Skullhorn. It
Never
doesn't
using
exist. Never using it, not even once. Because Arcane Barrier 2 and Arcane Barrier 1 is why we play these.
Yeah.
In the matchups that it matters. All right, so main deck. Well, actually, it's the entire deck because the sideboard and stuff is mixed in together on fab websites. Honestly, I think what I'd like to do is just go over what changed, and then we can look at like the official list because this one's actually organized by sideboard and stuff. So, what changed? Well, we don't have Battered, Beaten, Broken in the deck anymore.
Okay.
I took that out. I took out the Beat the Same Drums. I took out the Visit the Boneyard. And I took out the Instill Fears.
Now, the question I'm going to ask is this: do we take them out because we found out they're bad after playing them, or we found better replacements for them? Like, oh, I wasn't thinking of X, Y, or Z card.
Both. So just like Battered, Beaten, Broken just never came up. Yeah, I never resolved it.
Where it's too conditional.
It's too conditional. Like, when I was grabbing it, it was because I needed to block.
Okay.
Which kind of sucks. That's not where we want our cards to be. In Still Fear, there's just better cards to play. Beat the Same Drum, same thing. Really cool card for the deck, though, because you make up to 3 different kinds of tokens. So it is cool when it works, but ultimately it's a little too weird. Visit the Boneyard I still like the card, but it's not, because it doesn't block, it's not worth
The risk.
the spot. It's not worth the risk. Yeah, exactly. Like, it does a lot of things, a lot of really cool things on the, like, proactively,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise, like, the deck does need to be, the deck is reactive in nature, like
Yeah.
the entire thing. You're trying to make sure you're blocking well, keeping your life up, and then you take initiative with very small hands of like a mocking blow and a blue with the extra resource. Here's 10.
Yeah.
Like, that's the goal of the deck. Crazy numbers. So this is the up-to-date deck with the changes. It also shows kind of like what kind of this, I guess, is a magic term, but KO is the first deck in this underhanded cheat. KO
Mm-hmm.
is the first deck in Flesh and Blood where we get to use an old magic term called wishboarding, where you have cards in your inventory or sideboard um, that you can gain access to in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
And he does that with his very, very cool card, which you alluded to, Outside Interference.
One of
It's a
the
blue.
coolest cards I feel like that's come out in a
So
while.
cool. So cool. Like,
It's changing the way
honestly,
like the game is played.
yeah, it is the reason I'm playing. If RKO didn't have this, I wouldn't be playing him. Like, this is such a cool card to play. Not only is it a blue 6, it also discards itself, so it turns on your Mandible Claw to have go again, which is a very typical pattern you'll do of like, here's a claw
Mm-hmm.
with no go again. They're like, okay, cool. No blocks. Cool. Okay, you've taken 3 damage. In the damage step, I'm going to give it go again by discarding this Outside Interference. Because you can do that in the damage step, which gets around weird things like traps, like Riptide stuff or
Oh,
Assassin stuff.
that's cool.
Yep. I like to do that kind of stuff in the damage step because, I don't know, just don't even
Right,
chance it.
yeah, yeah. Don't even give them the opportunity to. I learned that, dude. I learned that when.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but I've learned that you don't give them the opportunity to
Yeah,
to outplay you.
exactly. So, and also you're just giving them less information. Like, if there's like, oh, I'm going to take 3, and they're like just a little unaware of what your deck does, then they might be like, oh, well, I would have de-reacted that if I knew it would have had go again or something.
Yeah.
All sorts of things, right? Or if you do it way beforehand, they're like, well, I'll block 3 since it has go again. Or maybe they're like, well, I'll block 3 because that's the only thing you're doing. You're like, well, it's definitely not the only thing I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of better things after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's perfect about it is that you pitch a blue to the claw. You have 1 floating. 1 floating is the magic number, because then you can activate KO on the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
So what the card does, though, you discard it, you reveal a reviled attack action card from your inventory and put it into your hand. Very straightforward. So the wish board consists of 4 cards in my list. It is a single copy of Red Mockingblow. The other 2 are in the main deck. A single copy of Bully Tactics for, and like, if the game is going long and you just want to finish the game. Which, I wonder, actually, that might be changed. But anyways. And then 2 big bullies. The reason there's 2 big bullies here is because that's like my favorite one to go into.
Yeah. Seems like the most iconic. That or the Mocking Blow.
Yeah, so Mocking Blow is like really easy to do in the main deck. Big Bully usually requires a lot of cards to do when you just draw it. So I just put most of them in the side. There's 1 in the main deck. It just allows us to have less reds in our main deck,
Mm-hmm.
so that we don't have we have less awkward hands that way.
Yeah.
It's felt really good this way. And actually, this is not true anymore.
What did
I
we
actually
just delete?
changed it. The Bully Tactics is actually just a single copy of Instill Fear.
Oh, okay.
Might seem kind of weird since I'm taking out Majestic for a common, but
Yeah. The M means it's better, right?
I mean, it's
M
better.
more better.
M does not mean more better. It just means more win a lot of the time.
More money.
Yeah. When this attacks a hero, intimidate them. So Bully Tactics is a red that you can pay 3 to intimidate that many times. So you pay 3, you intimidate them 3 times. That's a lot of power. And then you KO it on top of that to make it a 6. Like, yes, it's a lot. It's pretty cool. You can do some fun stuff with it, but that's a lot of resources versus Instill Fear. There are hands where you just want a blue. out of the outside interference rather
Yeah.
than actually the real attack. Like if
You're
you just
fishing for
have,
resources more than
yep,
the
yeah, if you see another blue, like what if I have the big bully in my hand,
yeah.
or I have a red mocking blow in hand already, and I want to still use the outside interference, so I can go claw, discard, grab Instill Fear, and then I can use Instill Fear as the blue pitch to whatever I'm doing.
Yeah. There's a
So
lot of different
that's the real
lines.
reason. Yep. And then other than that, though, it also does still have Intimidate, so you can still use it for end game states, and you get a lot more out of KOing it since it's 1 power at base. You KO it all the way up to 6, it's a +5, so it feels better, and it doesn't cost nearly as many resources to do. Okay, other than that, the main deck, very very good card, looking for a scrap, which is so weird that it's in a brute deck because brutes are 6 powers. And this, as additional cost to play it, you have to banish a 1 power card from your graveyard, and when you do, this gets +1 and go again. This card's awesome in KO.
Yeah.
This KO,
I'm assuming you're
because
grabbing those mocking blows.
I mean you're banishing anything, so there's plenty of 1 power things in the deck. There's
Overcrowded.
overcrowded,
Yeah.
Nimbies.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
There's actually quite a few, and you only need to get one, so it's
Odds
not
of it
hard.
working is pretty high.
Yeah, very very good. And you can also just like try to intentionally block or use up your 1 powers so that you can make sure that when you do draw it, it's ready to go. Like you might even have like, if you draw, when you drop your hand, you see looking for a scrap in your hand, you should check your graveyard immediately and make sure you can use it. And if you can't, look around and be like, well, how can I get a 1 cost in graveyard this turn and then arsenal this? Can I block with one? Whatever you can do. There's even times where it's like I have a red mocking blow or yellow in my arsenal and I'm getting hit with CNC and I'm like, okay, take it. Now my looking for a scrap works.
Yeah.
So like there's all sorts of weirdness you can do to get this working. It's so efficient. Mocking Blow is the best card in the deck. I think I could go as far as saying that. Like it is it's so strong. So it comes in red, yellow, and blue. When it stacks a hero, if you have more life than them, the crowd boos you. That's why we're more of a defensive deck, because we need to have more life than the other hero to get these boo effects. If you've been booed this turn, this gets +4. So it's a 0 cost, 5 damage, and then since you're getting booed, the KO ability will give you a vigor token, which then sets you up for the next turn and the next turn.
And the next.
So like you just try to chain mocking blows turn after turn. The cool thing is that it's getting +4, but KO says it changes the base power of a card. So what happens is that you'll attack with this for 5, right? The 1 +4. And then KO's ability will change this 1 into a 6, but it's still getting that +4. So, if you have just Mocking Blow in hand, a Tunic counter, or like any one way to generate another resource, whether it's the Vigor token from getting booed or your Tunic, and a blue, you have more life than the other person, which is the goal of the deck anyway. This is a 2-card 10.
Yep.
2-card 10 make a Vigor token, which, and this card also just blocks 3. Like it has a lot of good. So we play them on all colors. 2 reds in the main board, 1 in the side, so we can fish it out with outside interference. The yellows, the only difference in the yellows and blues is that the +4 becomes a +3 and a +2. But obviously they pitch better, so
Yeah.
trade-off was worth it. This card's just so good. The other bigger card in the deck is Big Bully. It has that same first line. When it attacks hero, you have more life than them, crowd boos you. If you've been booed this turn, this card's base power is doubled. So if you've been booed and you just play this, it's a 2-cost, 8 damage attack.
Yeah.
That's, swing big and show up strength numbers. And you make a Vigor token as well if you have more life than them, which you have to do to get it to be an 8. So really, really good already just on its face.
Yeah.
It could have ended there.
But no, we've got more.
KO, but wait, there's more. KO you can pay, which is kind of cool because you pitch a blue to this. Hey, look, I have 1 floating. Pitch another blue to activate KO. That 4 in the bottom left becomes a 6, and since I've been booed this turn, it gets doubled to 12. So you can also just be like, it's either 8 or 12, and I make a Vigor. and it depends on how you want to use your cards. So I've had people like block 11 on this when it's at 8, because KO's ability is an instant. You don't have to do it beforehand. You
Yeah.
can let your opponent do all their blocking and then choose if you're going to do it or not. So like, let's say I pitch just like, I don't know, yeah.
Can you do that during the damage step so they can't even react to it?
You can't do it during the damage step, because the damage step is actually after damage has been calculated. That's when on hit effects happen. So
Got it.
you can do it in the reaction step. I think their last chance is reaction step
Got it.
to do it. In casual armory games, if someone's not familiar with the deck, I will just like be like, it's gonna be 12.
Yeah.
I'll just do it first
Because you're a nice guy.
I'm just gonna be nice and not make them like overthink when they're reading my cards and don't, But at a
That is
other one,
half the fun of this deck, though, is to make them overthink, and you're just sitting there like, I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna pump it. I don't have the resources.
yeah, every now and then you don't even have the resources. You'll have like a Sink Below or a Sigil of Solace in hand or
Yeah.
something. And you're like, I'm just gonna, or like a red Mocking Blow, and you're just like, I'm just gonna Arsenal the next thing. But you don't know
On
that.
that note, this deck is very like, hey, I'm coming in for 4. It could be a 12. How often are you kind of just playing like a slight fatigue matchup where they're over blocking and you're just like, I'm taking the value. I'm not even gonna pump this. I'm just gonna arsenal this card or keep it in hand, and you're throwing 3 or 4 cards at my 2.
Yeah, it totally depends on what card I'm throwing, and if it's, how much damage am I leaking or not leaking. Like, if someone blocks an 8-power big bully for 12, I'm just gonna not pump it, right? It's not even worth it, unless I really hate the card in my hand and I'm like, I just want to get rid of this card. Like, my arsenal's full, I don't want this card in my hand, then I'll pump it anyway. That's more of a means of recycling my cards more so than like a missed opportunity or something, right?
Yeah.
They're still over blocking because it's like, I'm not out of damage after like I resolve 3 big bullies and 3 Mocking Blows.
Yeah.
The deck has a lot of damage.
Yeah. I just thought it was an interesting like side game you could play,
Yep.
of just fatiguing them out from them over respecting the damage.
You could definitely fatigue Gravy with this deck. You're very efficient at attacking their allies, and there's a lot of decks that go behind on life as just part of their general strategy. And going behind on life into KO means that you're never going to win that matchup ever. Like, when this guy's ahead on life, it just gets worse and worse and worse for the other person. It like, he plays against Oldhim, and I'm like, I don't know how this matchup's going to go. I haven't played this one. And the Oldhim's like, he's just falling behind on life because he can't push damage towards me. And once I'm ahead on life, I don't stop. Like, my cards just don't stop doing things. They just keep going. It's really decks that can get ahead on life on you that are troublesome. That can like really pose a challenge for KO.
Got it.
But
so you're loving
decks,
the Prism matchup?
any matchup I start with extra life already is very good. Like Dash.io, surprisingly a good matchup, because you just start so ahead on life and you're very good at defending.
Yeah.
The deck does.
I need to play a deck that I just stomp Prism in. I know Syndra's favorite, but it just never feels good. I'm losing the game until I win.
Prism is especially unfair because you can use this ability on defense as well. So any of your things can become a Phantasm popper.
Yeah, it costs a little bit extra, but definitely can.
It does, but like it means that every hand, no matter what, you have a 6.
Yeah,
pretty much, and that's a lot for. Like if I just have to pitch a blue and activate Tunic, and block with Nimby to stop a Prism turn, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
All right, other cards. I mean, I'm not going to say too much about these. Show of Strength and Swing Big. They're both 2-for-8s with small downsides, but the downsides are not big enough to make them not amazing cards. These cards are insane.
They're just good numbers.
Good. Yep. For reference, 2-for-6 is on rate. 2-for-7 is slightly above rate, not really that great. 2-for-8 is very above rate. It is awesome. I've been loving Swing Big since forever. It's my favorite, one of my favorite brute cards, if not my favorite brute card. Sigil of Solace, very, very good card. What can I say? It gains you 3 life. it's extraordinarily good in KO because you want to be ahead on life. Hey,
Who would have thought?
so it's also just great, like, been talked about for a long time. You can put Sigil Solace in Arsenal, and you just kind of wait. If you're ahead on life, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to play your Sigil as soon as you draw it. It's actually better to put it in Arsenal a lot of the time.
And you're just baiting out
And,
any CNCs.
yep, CNCs, leave no witnesses, anything. Like Conquer the High Seas, very, that happens a lot. Your Sigil Solace is just sitting there, and they're like, "I'm gonna get your Arsenal," and you're like, "I'm like, no, you're not. It's Sigil."
No, no, no.
Nope. Sink Below. There's not much to say. It's Sink Below. It's
Classic.
really good. It's classic card. Scent Packing is one of the changes to the deck. I took out some blues, so there's less blues overall. I think I was on like 29 blues, and now I'm at 26. I remembered an old deck building thing I used to do, where if I am really particular about how many blues are in a deck, I count 2 yellows or like each yellow is half a blue for my deck.
Uh-huh.
So Scent Packings, like when I say like when people are like, how many blues are in your deck? I'm like 27 and a half.
Like what?
Because Scent Packings.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's an interesting way of thinking about it. Yeah. I might have to use that because right now I'm just on Cinder, so everything's red except for 3 blues and 2 yellows.
See, then that's where it's a lot easier. But when it comes to deck building like this, where you are pretty like KO's very particular about having blues, right?
Yeah.
So, but too many blues can happen for the deck. It can just kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes your all blue hands are. What's cool is that they're at least decent because of his ability, making everything.
Then they should all block, right?
They all do block now. Not a single one doesn't block.
Except outside.
Outside interference technically blocks. You can discard it.
Oh, and then grab another card to block
card
with?
That blocks, and
Got
then you block.
it. Yeah.
So when you're desperate, you can block with it. That's what the Battered, Beaten, Broken was doing. 100% of the time that weekend. So, that's also kind of a reason why Instill Fear's there. It's just like, hey, I'm going to be blocking, every few games with an outside interference pull.
Yeah.
Might as well not lose my Mocking Blow. If you need to also set up for, I don't know, it's like a decent turn 0 play, honestly. Like if you went Mandible Claw, they make you go first. You go Mandible Claw, outside interference, grab Instill Fear, and then Instill Fear, and then pump it to 6 with an Intimidate. You're going to leak some damage, which when you leak damage, you're ahead on life.
Yeah.
And then once you're ahead on life, you just try to keep that going. And it's very easy to stay ahead on life when you have things like Flesh Bag just sitting there, waiting to mess up an aggressive turn for them. The blues. Booze. Very good card. Unlike Lyeth, the other reviled hero, KO doesn't have a way to boo on that starts in play. Like, it's not on his hero text, it's not on any of his equipment in a repeatable. So we play booze because it's a blue, block 3. I actually do cast it quite a bit. It is a very, very strong card. I almost think of it like a blocking version of the Mechanologist card, Techlocore.
Oh, okay.
The card that, just makes 2 resources every turn. But this one actually blocks 3. Because for us, it's making Vigor tokens. It's also booing us, so if we're behind on life, we can still get that boo.
That boo trigger, yeah.
The boo trigger, which will then let our Mocking Blows and Big Bullies actually be good cards.
Yeah. And also it pitches.
Also, it just pitches.
Yeah.
It's just very, very solid card. My favorite tech in the blues is definitely these 4 cards right here. A single copy of Blue Nimbleism and 3 copies of Blue Nimby. Now, for people that are unaware, this is the coolest thing you get to do in KO.
Yeah. Enlighten us. Is there only one Nimbleism, or am I missing the other ones, or?
Nope, not just one Blue Nimbleism.
So we're just hoping we only draw a couple of them?
I mean, you'll draw it every now and then. And when I was mentioning sometimes you will just pitch even if they blocked it out. That would be Blue Nimbleism in hand. Is I want this in my decks because when Nimby attacks, you search for your deck for a Nimbleism.
Mm-hmm.
The only Nimbleism is the deck is blue Nimbleism. So what we're doing is we're attacking with Nimbleism. We have one floating or a tunic ready from the Vigor token or the tunic. We attack with Nimby. Search, like, if I have no other cards, no arsenal, just the Nimby, no other cards in my hand, but I have a Vigor token or the one resource, I attack with Nimby, search up blue Nimbleism, I activate KO by pitching the blue Nimbleism I just searched up, and now the Nimby is a 6 damage attack. So math-wise, that comes out to Nimby being a 1-card 6, which is,
Pretty
we were
nasty.
talking about 2-card 8s being like way above rate. 1-card 6 is insane above rate.
Yeah.
If they printed a card that was a blue that blocked 2 and just dealt 6 damage, we'd be like, they're just out of ideas. So really, really fun tech in this deck. One of my favorite things to do. There's also just something fun about just like for people that when you play against someone that doesn't know about the Nimby stuff you can do, they're just like, okay, so what? You're gonna arsenal the blue Nimbleism? I'm like, no, I'm pitching it.
Nope.
It's funny.
It's giving me +5.
It's giving me +5 actually. So really, really cool tech. It only takes 4 spots in your deck, which feels quite nice, and they all block for 2, which is less than what we'd like, but obviously worth it because it deals 6 damage with 1 card. Very good also with agility tokens, or if you're like that turn 0 play where we're rolling scabs, you roll a 4 and you have a Nimby in hand. Whew. You just throw a Nimby out on turn 0 with an extra action point. Like, here's Nimby. It's probably 6. They're like, okay, block 6. I'm like, well, since you blocked 6, I'm actually not going to make it 6. Here's like a swing big now.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
and my brain took a minute to catch up, and now I'm just realizing, you're just recycling the Nimbleism with Nimby. You play a Nimby, grabbing Nimbleism, pitching it, goes to the bottom of your deck, you find another Nimby, and you repeat the process.
Yep. My little joke with it is that if I just did the Nimby thing, and I like know it's on the bottom of my deck, and my next hand has Nimby again, and I play it again, I just go magic trick, and I just flip the Nimbleism off the bottom. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty fun. And I also, the only yellow, no, I have a couple white border cards, but the Nimbleism, this is a white bordered card in my deck just so I can search it faster.
That was easier. Yeah, you don't have to actually read it. Just, I'm looking for the white.
Just looking for the white card. The only other white card in the deck is CNC. So.
Oh, what do you pour? No, I'm just kidding.
A little bit.
Yeah. No, I got like a couple of the white border E-strikes, and they bothered me so much. Like, it shouldn't, but I don't know why they had to put the poor borders on cards. It just makes it feel bad.
Yeah. What's funny with me though is that like when I did my first pro quest, I bought like 3 boxes of history pack, and I got 1 CNC out of each of them, and those are the same CNCs I'm playing today.
I mean, hey, we take that. That's value.
It's, oh my god, it's such crazy value. Because I'm also pulling like Art of Wars and stuff.
Yeah, I was super close to just pulling the trigger on like TCG boxes of history pack just to gamble it, but I was like, I could just buy the CNC for the price of the box and not.
Yeah, CNC's gone down quite a lot since then.
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah. Another, I believe this isn't in the other list. Offensive behavior, I just put back in. So if you control a might or vigor token, it gets +1. When it hits a hero, create a might and a vigor token. So it's like it's a blue that has an on hit. It blocks for 3. If you already have the might or vigor token, which you can do quite easily, right? Like if I have 3 cards in hand, and we're always kind of like betting that we just have a resource from tunic or a vigor token.
Yeah.
So like if my 3-card hand is all 3 blues, and I have a booze, a strongest survive, and an offensive behavior, or just really any blue that I don't want to play in that moment, I could just booze, make the vigor token, send offensive behavior, and it'll get that +1. And then if I KO it, it'll be 7, which is a lot harder to block than 6.
Yeah, it's basically asking for equipment.
And then you hit. Yep, you get another might and a vigor token, and you can do really funny things when you have 2 vigor tokens, like just send a swing big to 1 card 8 out of your hand.
Yeah.
And with the might token to be a 1 card 9, like really funny stuff. The might tokens also play well with smashing grounds and strongest survives in the blues. But obviously with the small amount of them, I'm not betting on them. They're just nice to haves.
Yeah. Nice little surprise.
Yeah. Because we also have pummel in the sideboard. And these are great to pummel. Like if you're you don't have anything else going on that turn, but you do want to make a pummel, these are really good options.
What do you
So,
what do you bring in pummels in for if they're not in main deck?
yeah, so it's a 51 card main deck. We side in 9 cards. I think trying to look at these. I don't think we really side out anything very often.
Mm-hmm.
Even against Florian, I like to keep in the Sigil of Solaces at this point. Like, maybe I'll side out looking for a scrap into Syndra, because I'm not trying to be more aggressive than them. I'm just trying to
Be more value.
be more value, be really mid-rangey. And this is great value, but a red that blocks 2 needs to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
And not be as conditional. So, yeah, the pummels come in for matchups like Syndra, where I just really want to disrupt them. So against Syndra, I'd bring in 3 pummel, 3 erase face, 3 command and conquer, and 3 shelters. And I'd actually just bring in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd bring in all 5 of those cards, which means I'd be taking out something else. Oh yeah, I'd be taking out the big bully and the 2 red mocking blows out of that matchup as well. You can't bet that you're going to be ahead on life into a deck like Syndra.
That's true. Yeah.
We just don't do that. Where it's like, I could still grab them with the outside interference, so it's not like they're gone.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have less of the top end copy, the red copies, but I'm replacing them with very, very good tools into Syndra.
Yeah. Pummels are
Like
insane, and erase face.
Erase face pummel is a crazy feeling. Like
Yeah.
their turn's just over. And then obviously command and conquer pummel, very, very strong. One other really cool thing about this deck is vigor tokens are very, very good. Because we all know Command and Conquer, Pitch a Blue, Tunic, Pummel. Vigor token, you just have a 1 floating, you pitch a blue, here's a Command and Conquer, and you just have 2 floating.
Yeah.
Which is Pummel math.
Pummel math.
So the Vigor tokens, again, they're just so strong in this class. So yeah, Syndra we bring in quite a bit. Then we also have Agile Windup here as another sideboard piece. That usually just comes in against things like Gravy or Verdance, where we just kind of want to keep laying on damage, but not necessarily like I'm not bringing Fiddler's Green into Verdance. It's going to be really hard to actually do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bringing Shelter from the Storm into Gravy because, I need to be attacking him. I don't want to just do nothing. So, like, against Gravy, I'd bring in, like, the 3 windups, the CNCs, and probably the pummel. Probably not a race face, though. So, like, it might seem kind of weird to be like, why are you pummeling a Gravy? But they still do need cards in their hand to, like, do their big turns. Like, even if they're just discarding an ally, that means they're not discarding an ally for their golden tipple or for their other effects. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not doing port side exchange.
You still make them answer questions,
Yep, exactly. So, and there's so many ways to pummel in this deck, too. Like, you have your swing bigs, show strengths, pulling. I have pummeled
a big bully
while it's at 12.
Good. Yeah. Here's a 14 for you, and let me get one of them cards.
16.
Oh, 16, yeah.
Plus 4 on top of 12. 16, you discard a card. I make a vigor.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
That's definitely a swing in the game if it wasn't already one.
Yeah, it's really fun. And there's a lot of decks that give you that room to do those kinds of things, like Gravy and Verdance. They give you a ton of room to resolve that kind of nonsense.
Yeah. And then we got the outside interference, I think was next on the main list, because I kind of cut you off and took you down.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I mean, we already talked about it. Very good card. Blue 6 is also just good and brute. Like,
yeah.
It's just very solid. Because you can also just attack with this. I haven't done it yet, but
it's an
I'm
option.
Sure it is an option, and I'm sure there could be a turn where it's like, oh man, this hand sucks. Like, maybe this is the only thing I can pummel, but pummeling it also, like, might just push me in a direction where I'm, like, suddenly winning the game.
Yeah.
Like, here's 2 cards, 6, and then pummel with another 2, with the pummel and another pitch. You might just be winning.
Yeah.
Overcrowded is an extraordinarily good card, especially in this deck. 0 cost, 1 damage, 2 block, ambush. While this is an arsenal, you may defend with it. Really good ability. Even if, like, if it just, honestly, cover up the rest of the text, if it just had this, I would still be playing it.
Just
Then it has extra text.
Yeah.
The extra text, when this attacks or defends, it gets +1 power and +1 defense for each different name among or tokens in the arena. KO is making agility, might, and vigor tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And your opponent is making who knows.
Yeah.
But
Fealty,
there's lots of fealty. So against Syndra, this always blocks 3 pretty much.
Rune Chants aren't aura tokens, are they? No.
They are aura tokens.
Oh, they are? So boom, that's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the perfect
behind.
card against the Codex. But it just have
is,
you ever actually attacked with this? I've only ever seen it really defensively.
I have attacked with this because if you, especially with the beat with the same drum, the card I took out ultimately, there were turns where I would like have vigor, might, and agility pop all at once. Beat with the same drum reads that it would create all 3 of those again. So then this attacks for 0 for 1 +3, you KO it and it's suddenly 9 damage on a blue. But also there's a lot of turns where, I don't know, like against Syndra, right? I have a vigor token, you have a fealty token.
Yeah. This
is going to block 4, but on offense, it also, with a KO pump, is attacking for 8 as a blue. So
yeah, it's definitely a good card.
So flexible. And then you alluded to it, the Codex thing, when Codex is being seen more again, when there's an assassin or a ranger that's being played more, Slippery Armory deck you might see more Codexes in your future.
Yeah.
So what you can do against that is if you have to choose an attack action out of your graveyard from the Codex of Frailty, you choose Overcrowded, but they have to choose first. So you get to know what they're doing. They're choosing like CNC or something, or Leave No Witnesses. That's a very typical pattern for them. You get to choose Overcrowded after they choose. And now you get a Frailty token, which is an Aura token. They get a Ponder token, which is an Aura token. So you can just block with the Overcrowded you just put into your arsenal on the thing that they're attacking with.
Yeah.
And it'll block for 4, no matter what.
Yeah.
If I have
they're basically just giving you a D-react to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also notably another 1 power for our looking for a scraps.
Yeah.
So it fills so many roles. Like, this card is absolutely awesome.
Get them now, guys. They're like sub $10.
Yeah, no, this card.
They were like 30 or something.
I think
when Assassins or Codex comes back in meta, these are going to spike again. This is not financial advice, but go buy them.
Yeah, but actually do spend your finances on it.
Yeah.
I advise you to spend your finances on that card. 3 copies. Rotten Remains is more of a... what would I even call this? It's kind of like, I don't want to lose the mirror ever. And if you resolve one of these in the mirror, you just win.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy in the
What other decks are playing a lot of one power?
Syndra. You can hit the daggers with this.
Oh, I guess you could. Yeah, they'll probably. So, that's good too, because your Syndra's probably never going to let you take them, but
but they have to pitch.
They're pitching to it, so you're killing their next turn.
Yep, and you're almost always going to have 1 or more 1s in your graveyard. So the condition for this is that you get to repeat that process so long as you can keep banishing 1s from each graveyard.
Yeah, and you get that lake in. That's suddenly like what?
Oh
15
man,
power?
It is. Yeah. So if I have like 6 1s and they have 6 1s, then if this is getting +6 and you KO it, it'll attack for 12. Like, it's kind of just unreasonably good when you do it. Assassins will also have a lot of 1 power cards because of Jestinic, so you can also just hit a lot of, like, you could hit all their persuasive prognoses out of their graveyard, which also means you don't have to deal with them later from Codex or take up the mantle.
Now, a quick question on how this would work. So, do you have to banish a card from theirs as well to get the trigger, or is it just you're going through to banish it, and as long as you may
you may banish a card with 1 from each hero's graveyard. Funny enough, in UPF you'd have to hit everyone's graveyard, so really terrible in UPF. But obviously, evaluating on a 1v1 scale, you do have to hit both graveyards for this.
Okay,
but it's also just a blue block 3, and like, it blocks and pitches more than it does anything else. But it's a one of, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't need.
It's a
It's
little
fine.
it's a little fun tech.
It's a little fun tech, so you don't lose that
Yeah,
matchup, and it
it
has
seems
some.
really like I'm definitely gonna put that in my deck because it just seems fun.
It's very fun, and it's just like protects you in the mirror, and then protects you also into Lyeth too. Like the wild heroes are pretty funny because like they both want to stay ahead on life,
Mm-hmm.
and they both play a bunch of life gain nonsense.
Yeah.
So this also helps in Eliath. He's not going to be banishing his own stuff from his graveyard, so he will usually have quite a big treasure trove for you at some point. Um, Rowdy Locals, really really good card. I started at one copy, and then two, and now three. It's just very very solid. If it's defended by an action card, this gets +2. So you attack a 0 for 2. They block with a 3 block action. Very typical kind of thing you'd see. You're looking at this is just 4 damage now, and it has an on hit. What? When this is a hero, discard a card, and that's a must. If you have a card to discard, you have to discard a card. If you do, they also discard a card. So for a lot of decks that just have that are just like the name of your channel, right? No
Yeah. No
blocks.
box.
No blocks. Cool. I'll discard some random crap I didn't need anyway, and you have to discard a card now. And now your output is much less.
Yeah.
And then the cool part about this is that we're looking to really abuse the +2 bonuses and other bonuses listed on cards because it doesn't count towards the base. So if let's say they block this for 6 with and one of them, at least one of them's an action card.
Mm-hmm.
You can activate KO, and suddenly this is an 8 power card because it'll get the +2, and then this will be a 6.
Yeah. You're
And if
asking
you have a
them.
card,
You're
yeah,
asking them difficult questions again because like
yep,
it's like for me, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm never blocking that because I'm just pumping it. Then he's gonna pump it more, and I'm just wasting
hmm
more cards. So you're like, I feel
yep,
like you play this, you're almost guaranteed, unless they have a bunch of D-reacts. Like you're just guaranteed damage.
yep, yeah. And it also there's been definitely some times where I'm like, I think I did this once at least. It pairs quite well with Fiddler's Green. KO definitely this KO does not have as many discard payoffs as other brutes would, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So that self discard is a little harder to get a lot of value out of. But with Fiddler's Green, you could just discard your Fiddler's Green and gain that 3 life. So like going turn 0 if you have the Fiddler's Green, but you also have the Rowdy Locals and they let you hit, or you play this, you have 2 blues in hand and the Fiddler's Green, and they're
Yeah.
like
It's nothing
block
but
6 or
upsides.
7, and you're like, well, I'm gonna make you get rid of that one of your cards, and I'm gonna gain 3 life.
Yeah.
It's obviously as a blue, it's gonna in a block 3, it's gonna be blocking and pitching most of the time, but it also asks really good questions, hence why it's a 3-of.
Yeah.
Like it's just solid. Smashback Alehorn. I've definitely vacillated on this card between 2 and 3 copies, but I think I'm pretty happy with 2. It does end up blocking 2, so you don't want it like 100% of the time, but
Yeah.
it's a good card. Crane Agility and Might token. Those are good tokens to have. Since the deck is making Vigor tokens and using the Tunic a lot, like a really fun play pattern is just you do your Alehorn the turn before, maybe you Arsenal a Swing Big, you draw another Swing Big or a Show of Strength or some nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you already have the Vigor token as well, and you could just like pitch a single blue and use your Tunic or the Vigor token, and you go Swing Big for 9, go again into Show of Strength for 8, and that's a 3-card 17.
Yeah. It's a little backbreaking.
And that's also, I think it's pretty backbreaking.
Yeah.
Because that still leaves you with like 1 to 2 other cards to block or arsenal with, or just use in some fashion.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And also, like, agility is just very, very strong in the deck for things like Nimby. For doing like the 2 blue attack hands where you're like, here's a Nimby, how do you want to deal with this? And they're like, I'm going to block 6. Cool. Here's my Mocking Blow now.
Yeah. I'm saving that resource for this.
Yeah. And if they don't block the Nimby, I'll be like, cool, I'll make it 6. Here's a Mocking Blow for 5.
Yeah.
I just got 6 life ahead of you, or whatever, right? I dealt 6
Yeah.
damage.
There's no right answers to these questions.
Exactly. And what's really cool is that if they, if I'm just doing like, I don't know, like Mocking Blow, and I could pitch the blue in my hand to pump it, but they block 9, I'm like, nah, I'd rather arsenal this blue. That blue might just be like blue Nimby or a blue Mocking Blow for the next turn.
Yeah.
So where Azuri would be like kind of screwed if they just block out the card that they're the stealth attack,
Mm-hmm.
and now they have to arsenal like a CNC or something. Like this deck doesn't do that because you're not, the other card in your hand that you're like being tricky with isn't a CNC. It's not a red typically.
Yeah.
It's probably another playable blue. All the blues in this deck are playable and
Yeah.
on or above rate because of KO.
That's one of the things that makes RKO super interesting to me.
Yeah. Smashing Ground's just a one of because I didn't want to run 3 Strongest Survive, and I wanted to try it out. It's cool. If you just KO it, you do get the ability. It's quite hefty though because it costs 3.
Yeah.
So. But you pummel it, and that'll get you 6 or more power, and then suddenly you're doing like a blue CNC pummel out of nowhere. So,
yeah.
very powerful things you can do with it. As a one of, I think it's fine. I think you can pump it up to 2 if you want, but I think Strongest Survive is just being shown to be a very, very strong card. When this hits a hero, they discard a card unless they reveal a card from their hand with power greater than the damage dealt this way. Against Syndra, this is pretty mean.
Yep.
Right? You throw a blue 5 damage attack, and they have to block at least 3, because it has to be greater.
Yeah.
Most of their cards are 3 powers. If they block with just 2, then they have to reveal a 4 cost, or 4 damage in hand.
Yeah. And like a lot of the Syndered blocks are 2. Too many of
Exactly. So if they block with like a Blaze Headlong, and then the rest of the cards are 3s, they still have to discard a card. Doesn't work. But even if they do respect it, and they're like, okay, block 5, and you pummel that you pummel it, like, they're just like, oh, I'll just lose my entire hand then, I guess.
them. Yep.
And it's like, my blue just did that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And this thing does come in yellow and red, so there is definitely some more exploring you can do with this card. My Reinhardt deck will be playing the red ones and the blue ones for sure. The card's really strong. I might even put in the yellows, honestly. Like, it's just such a, like, it's so crazy that it comes in rainbow. Because like the matchups that we struggle into the most are like these aggro decks, and the aggro decks really don't like to see this card on the other side of the table. So
yeah.
feels good to have a block 3, very efficient, very disruptive attack. That also in other brute decks gets pumped by Blood Rush, which is really silly.
Yeah, we just need to figure out how to get Blood Rush in this bad boy.
Oh, I tried. It wasn't good. It was not good. You kind of just have like, you would have to lose all the like defensive pieces, I think, and like looking for scraps to really make it happen.
Yeah,
and also it doesn't even synergize with Mocking Blow at all, so that kind of sucks too. I wish though, because that is a great way to get ahead on life. A single Blood Rush turn, but
just do a one of see what happens.
Oh, that is kind of funny actually. I don't hate it.
Yeah, just gamble it. Like, hey, maybe it'll work when I draw it.
I think I'd have to put in blue Wrecker Romps to also facilitate that a bit. Yeah. So definitely would lose some power playing that, but it would be interesting. I would definitely I would play it. Like, I wouldn't bring it to a big tournament without some testing, but
you'd at least bring it to Armory.
I would definitely bring that. I bring way worse stuff than that.
Yeah. I think that's everything, isn't it?
That is everything. I mean, Shelter, a lot of these cards, like, if you what is Erase Face doing? It's good into Dash. It's good into Syndra. It's good into, sometimes good into Brute. It's kind of fine if they're on Blood Rush and stuff, which most Brutes are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because it's such a good card. Like, it's not much to say about it. It definitely is not a card that's like always good, right? Like, it's just meta dependent. So this is my meta dependent choice of card.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it could be Weakest Link in a couple months for all we know, right? Like, there's a lot of 2-for-6 generics that just take this like spot in my deck list. Right now, it's Erase Face because
it's really good into Syndra.
Really
and
good.
Probably into Gravy too, I would imagine.
No, it's fine. It stops Hook for a turn. It doesn't do enough. Like, you could play it just because it's also a 2-for-6, so you can take out a Chum with it.
Yeah.
But Command & Conquer is doing better in that department. So, yeah. And then otherwise, like, Fiddler's Green, like, I don't know. It's another way to gain life. Like, the card's pretty good. I wouldn't call it crazy, but it is good. And into Syndra, it's especially good because you can just lock a dagger
Uh-huh.
and then gain 3 life.
Yeah, just dead. Thank
Very,
you.
very good. Yep.
And then so you came in what, 5th, 8th, something like that?
Yep. I got the 8th seat. My first round in quarterfinals was against Nacilio that I lost to in Swiss. And while the game was a lot closer the second time, I ultimately, like, he only had like 10 to 14 cards left in deck. Just couldn't get there. Like he it was less like that I couldn't get there and more that he got there. Like
Yeah.
he got exactly not ex- he had one good push, got the last points in, couldn't quite fatigue it out. The first game that I played against him, I gambled and brought in Fleshbag instead of AB3.
Uh-huh.
And that didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
So, nope, just it's not worth
That's
it.
the part of gambling. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't.
Yep. I could have blocked one chain earlier on the combo turn on that Swiss game with Fleshbag, which is like the whole point. It's like just interrupt their combo turn. But I don't know if it actually would have interrupted the turn enough. So,
Yeah.
and I would have had to gamble on it being a worse combo hand. So I'm going to just see if I intimidate the spell out of hand or not. And so it was like, what I realized is like, I'd rather just have AB3 because then he's not getting all this incremental value off of Mind Warps
Yeah.
and off of the surge effects, getting back his Sigil Brilliances and stuff. So
Yeah, because you're familiar with Facilio. You're pretty nasty on him too.
I have played a lot of Vasilio.
Yeah.
And then also he starts at less life than you. So you can make it quite a decent matchup because you'll be ahead on life most of the match. I do think with this newer list, incorporating just more of that pummel style, maybe even probably putting some Fiddler's Greens as well because he attacks a lot.
Yeah.
He does a little bit of both. Definitely more attacking though. So just having the opportunity to to block with the 3 block in this and just go ahead, go even higher on life so that you have a bigger life buffer into that crazy combo turn is kind of what you need.
Yeah. So just a couple questions about RKO here. We've talked about it slightly, but I told you to save it for this video. Supposedly, quote unquote, the weapon for RKO has been released on the welcome or the Compendium of Wraith list. Let me pull that up for here.
I also pulled
yeah,
it
the
up.
Savage. Yeah.
Yep.
What do we think about this?
I think the art is really cool.
It is. It looks pretty nice. I would put that on my
really,
wall.
I will definitely want a cold foil version of this. It looks really like it's one of the coolest looking brute weapons I've ever seen. That being said, this card sucks for RKO. Like I'm just I'll be a little mean about it. I don't know what, like, if
What's
KO,
going on, LSS?
if this RKO could run Romping Club, I still wouldn't run Romping Club.
Yeah.
So this is just a worse Romping Club.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it meshes with RKO at all. So that's why I'm curious if they have something cooking for the Compendium of Wraith, because there's supposed to be support for everything, and if this is the support for RKO, it's more like, just kidding, it's not.
It's not a support for any brute currently, actually.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that, just like how we recently found out that, I forget what the card was, but that new card that's coming out in the Slippy Armory deck, it's like, oh, that's probably had to do something to do with the bans on bonds. Like, obviously it was to appease the masses, which, it's their company at the end of the day. I think that's a valid reason sometimes. But now that we see that I have that new card that repeats whatever the last card was that was played, it definitely makes sense why they banned it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping LSS gods are thinking, they're thinking deep with this one, and they got a plan to make this good, some sort of support.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath, but I'm hoping.
I'm holding hope that original KO doesn't LL too fast, so we can keep playing with Mandible Claw, because that is actually one existential threat to the deck, is that the other KO signature weapon is the Mandible Claw, and he's at 800 something points. So
yeah,
he only has like a season or two left in him before he's gone. And
No,
with
we
that,
just gotta keep him
you
down.
take out.
All the RKOs rise.
No, he's getting enough play where, at least in PQ and RTN seasons, like
Yeah, it's
he's gonna
definitely
get
gonna be
there
risky.
within a year, probably within like 9 months, I'd say.
Yeah.
But that's honestly, I think that I guess there's quite a few brutes now, but KO, Underhanded Cheat, and Tough Nut are probably the brutes that will be impacted the least by Mandible Claw rotating.
What?
You
So,
know,
if gun to your head, Mandible Claw's taken out, what are you replacing it with?
that's man, that gun is very scary because I don't know.
Are we just putting a shield on there?
No, we need a weapon because we need to actually kill allies and stuff. I almost would want to play Ball Breaker more. I think it's just stronger because you discard more than you pitch a 6. Like, I guess with RKO, you can always pitch a red 6 or higher with a Vigor or Tunic, and you'll always get that 4 damage. I guess I would be trying both. I would try out the Savage Claw. I already know, I've already played Ball Breaker quite a bit in other decks, so I got a general understanding of what it does. Definitely not Mini Meat Axe. Card is really bad for the deck. So yeah, I'd probably just try this. Like it's just it's not a replacement. It's just like I guess this is what we have to play.
Yeah, this is what they've
It's
given us.
but honestly, like out of all of them, Tough Nut is the most unaffected by it because you can just play Rock anyway. Rhinar and Levia are just like so unhappy to lose claws. Like Blood Rush Claw is like what you do in Brute. So
Yeah.
losing that is quite bad. At least with Underhanded Cheat, like I could see a play pattern where I'm like, well, here's like an above rate 1 card 4. That's not terrible. It's just
It's not his
what
like character style.
no, and it doesn't synergize with outside interference well beyond just I could pitch outside interference
Yeah.
to it. And that's not where I want to
And
be.
then what are you grabbing? Like it's not helping. Unless you're just throwing it in Arsenal
Yeah.
for next turn.
So like if I could see myself like retooling the deck to add a couple more 6s in at the blue and yellow. So like finding room for the Wrecker Romps, finding room for yellow Strongest Survives would probably be where I'd start. And then that might be just enough where you're like, okay, like I don't need it to be 4 every time I swing with it because I don't want to swing with it that often.
Yeah.
And then you still can do agility tokens to like swing 4 go again into
It just feels like
into something else.
It just feels like it takes such a big chunk at outside interference.
It really does because outside interference, like getting to grab a card and get the discard trigger.
That is like the outside interference is like the RKO card. It feels
It
like.
is.
And then
It
you're
definitely
losing,
is, yeah.
and then you're getting a weapon that is worse than the other weapon that makes your like signature card broken.
What's crazy is that like I understand that brutes need to be careful with whatever next weapon they print for brutes to have go again. Like I don't know, like my theory, like my my custom card that I'd want is like a heavy weapon, like with the way Summit works, where it's just I can run this 2-handed if I have 2 hands, and then you can run it in the KOs as the 1-handed version, and it's just like a club that's like 2 power, and then if you've discarded a 6, it has go again, and then if you are wielding it with 2 hands, it just gets +2, so it just becomes Romping Club with go again. But then for the KOs, it's just 2 damage go again. It's just like a nerfed
versatile
claw.
Yeah.
It's a nerfed claw, which is like kind of fine. I'm happy to have a nerfed claw. And then that also, I believe with heavy, it's not that you can run to. I'm actually just curious about my custom card now.
The custom card you built. You got questions?
Yeah, it is 1-handed, so you can't. I don't know why you ever would, but you could run 2 summits.
Yeah, just for funsies, I guess. For flair.
You get an agility token in your Guardian deck. You could pitch 4 blues and attack for 4 twice. But it'd be neat because then it's like you could run a brute deck that's like either you're running it as like the 4 damage version, or you're still doing your blood rush thing, but your blood rush is now 2 less damage, which
Yeah.
is totally reasonable, honestly.
Definitely, yeah.
Like I would welcome that.
It doesn't
for
need to
sure.
be better. It would be nice if it was good.
It's just it's not filling the gap that's left behind by
Yeah.
the lack of it.
So
I'm curious to see what else they do. Like we saw that the revered equipment, that there is revered equipment, and this is actually a pretty good revered equipment. So if all of this like just said, whenever the crowd boos you, if you have more life than each other hero, gain an action point. It's like, I don't know, it's a start, but
I
don't know. I kind of just want my legendary reviled equipment, or at least majestic reviled equipment. We don't have any.
Yeah, I feel like everything's
common.
leaning revered right now. So
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I don't know.
Yeah, especially even those like Black Friday packs. There's only one reviled card in that.
I know, and it's the one I want. It's
I know.
booze.
Same. So a couple other things. We kind of know RKO's strengths. It's being tricky, asking questions. What do you think his weakness is?
His weakness is, I mean, hero-wise, it's definitely Florian. Florian's like pretty unwinnable.
Mm-hmm.
The Reaping Blade makes it harder to gain life because you want to be ahead on life. Reaping Blade says if you have more life, you can't gain life.
Yeah.
So you still keep in the sigils, but it becomes really hard. And then they will also just resolve like Channel Mount Heroic and just start blasting you.
Yeah.
And
so
they get ahead on life very fast. Exactly. Yeah. No, they Danny DeVito blast you away.
Yeah.
Really, like surprisingly fast. And they also just have really good armor on top of all that. So as a Runeblade and Earth. What's funny though is that then Verdance is actually a very favored matchup for RKO. It's like the opposite because she goes behind on life a lot.
Yeah. So at the PQ out in Spokane, there was a RKO that made top 8. He actually beat the Odin on Verdance, and then ended up losing on the flip in the top 8. But definitely did good.
Mm-hmm.
And then
do you think that was when you were like, oh, this RKO.
Oh no, I was sold before. First of all, I'm gonna be honest. I love the art, like the Marvel art. Just like I'm not one to go crazy on the Marvels, but that one just I don't know, spoke to me. It looks so sick. And then I just like that it's asking cool questions. Like I know Sidra kind of does the same thing, but it's a lot more obvious. Whereas this is like it's a little bit more tricky. So I liked the idea of branching out and trying something different. But
with the thing that brought me to KO is not only like I have a lot of time on Brute, like that's my main class. He definitely flips Brute upside down quite a bit.
He's an unbrute Brute.
He's an unbrute Brute, and it's really cool. What's also neat about him is that Mistveil, right? They all LL'd. They were really strong. One of the strongest things about them is that all their blues were very good cards.
Yeah.
KO gets to do that too.
Yeah.
All your blues are really strong cards.
Yeah.
Or you can turn them into strong cards at least. Like there's a lot of like, you know, when you draw like your blues in Syndra or in Fi, you're just like, oh man, I hate these things.
I mean, I don't know. The blues in Syndra are like one of the best cards of the game for them. The Throw Dagger, but
Throw Dagger is quite good.
Yeah, that's the only blue I'm running personally. Unless,
and that's what I
I'm
see.
Throwing Warmongers in there, but
I've definitely seen like in the past with other aggro decks like Fi, like even like you know, and Fi's still getting some play today. Like there's some believers.
Yeah, Ellie's playing it a lot.
And I played against her after the Battle Hardened. After I lost, she's like, "I want to jam games with you." And I'm like, "Sick." So I better. I played several games with her over the last year or two.
That's cool.
Because she'll go to the PQ at Mindful over in Tacoma, and I play for them. So I've definitely seen Yuki and Ellie a few times now.
Yeah, because they're in like southern Canada.
Yeah, they're pretty close to the Seattle area, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But so I played her Fi a few times. I forget what the record was. I do remember winning at least one game, so that was cool.
Yeah. Easy.
Not easy. Very hard.
I'll edit it. I'll edit this part. You won every game. Stomped.
Okay.
You stomped it.
Anyways, so I started blasting.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like the fact that all of, like, his blues are just very strong,
Yeah.
right? Like we went through, like, a lot of the time we spent on the deck tech was the blues, and he also has like a lot of choices for blues. Like this is just what I ended up on currently,
And there's more
but
out there.
there's like this is the maybe board. It's a nightmare, but there's a lot to consider. Like there's also the steel victory card, right?
Yep.
Like that I could see that coming in the right meta.
And yeah,
Like
in the
if
right
Fang
meta
was
for
really
sure.
good, Fang's really good. Just throw 3 steel victory in your deck. It'll be really funny. Overload is also a card we've looked at in the past because you can make it 6 dominate that hits with go again.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
definitely more options, more room to be played with, and and the next set coming out in what 3 months, a little bit under.
the
Who knows what?
compendium.
Yeah, who knows what new stuff is? I know it's a lot of support, but I'm assuming there's gonna be some new cards too. So
I mean, oh, if you mean for the reviled class or
yeah, I mean, there's
RKO?
supposed to be, according to the thing, there's supposed to be support for every class.
Yeah,
So
he said
that
they said that they're gonna make Teklevossen whole, so I'm hoping that they can like
I know
give
there's a
the
couple
reviled
locals
heroes
that'll
more
be happy
stuff.
to hear that.
I think that's true for almost every fab armory scene. Like
Yeah,
there's
there's
just
one Teklo guy at least.
one guy that like bought into Teklo and likes
Yeah,
it, but
they're like, I don't care how bad this is. I've bought the cards.
yeah, and I don't blame them. Like Teklo is a fun deck to play.
Yeah,
Like
I played
I
against it last night, and he
mhm,
almost did the thing. He was so close,
mhm, yeah,
but I did watch. I watched his last game, and he did the thing, and he won.
yeah,
He turned into Iron Man.
yeah. I think he just needs another avenue.
Yeah,
Like if he could just do something else rather than just rely on Singularity, I think that'd be plenty fine. Honestly, like give him better options for the Evos than just the ones that he has currently. Because 4 is a lot to ask.
yeah.
Like
Well,
if they even gave him like a battle worn 1 that costs 0 and has some abilities on it, like that would be like a major upgrade because you just pitch a blue, play it out, draw a card, and then you are like just getting your Evos out quicker.
yeah,
Just anything really. I don't know. He needs something.
yeah,
Because also just the fact that like their action equipment and a lot of his equipment is like temper, so assassins shred their armor, and they once they lose a piece of equipment, a Jarl destroys armor.
yeah.
It's kind of a nightmare, right? Like fundamentally, he needs to be something needs to change.
Yeah,
Maybe there needs
I'm
to be
sure. I'm
Evo,
sure
little
Compendium of
Evos that
Wraith will
just like
be
exist.
the thing. Definitely,
I'm sure it will
100%.
be. If
No
any,
doubt in my mind that it's going to be in the next meta.
to be fair, this is a very good effect for that deck.
Uh huh.
It's also a base, right? So, like, banish your 4-cost Evo from your hand and make a ponder, arsenal, whatever you draw.
Yep, definitely.
Like that is a very, very strong effect. It's just
It's
it's
definitely
not
going to fix everything.
no.
Yeah.
I think like there's some cool cards. Like Elemental Strike looks really cool. I'll be playing that for sure. And Acilio, like,
Yeah.
definitely over E Strike. Like I was already playing E Strike, and this is just like better E Strike. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that about does it for this.
Cool.
Drew, do you have any plugs? Where can they find you if you want? Do you even want to be found?
I don't mind being found. People can talk to me. You can message me on Discord. I go under Cold Pad Thai. Current avatar is like it's a Tangela that's made out of ramen.
Yummy.
Really, I don't know. It's cute art. You can find me on Discord. You can hit me up anytime. I'll give you the links for the decks that we
Yeah.
went over.
We'll share them out.
So people can take a look at them and tell me I'm wrong or not.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's just gonna automatically agree. Of course. We're on the internet. We know what we're talking about.
No one ever argues on the internet.
No.
It's all just agreement and positivity.
Yeah, it's definitely not accessible. Well, I appreciate your time, bud. It's been fun, and I think I learned a lot myself because I've been wanting to build this, and I've gotten some of the cards, but I think we're gonna make that final push here soon. So, but yeah, thanks again, man, for coming up, and I hope you do well at what is it, the Seattle? Are you gonna play? You got to play RKO now, man. Everybody's gonna see this video, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's the RKO guy."
To be fair, I have to put my work in for Reinar first. Make sure
It's not.
that's not better because he could like that Florian matchup. Reinhardt just like stomps all over Earth heroes.
That's one matchup though. How many Florins are going to be there?
That's fair. No,
It's going to
he's
be a
just
lot
like,
of. I think it's going to be a lot of Syndra hate and Verdance, and
What's
then I guess
interesting-
probably Gravy. But I feel like Gravy's. I don't think Gravy's bad, but I think he's just fallen out of the meta share.
you have to be like a master at Gravy.
Yeah,
Like the world's level Gravy players. Like watching the stream, I'm like, damn,
they're good.
They just,
Yeah,
they're really.
there's a
good.
reason they're there.
Yeah, exactly. On Gravy at that
Yeah.
level, like really, really good. And not to say that other Gravy players aren't like good. I just think that that's like a very high skill ceiling deck.
Yeah, definitely. Like Gravy's such a cool and interesting deck, but it's any card game there's RNG in it, but it's a lot of piloting and making the correct choices constantly, like always.
Constantly, every last like when I
Like,
play
one
Acilio,
mistake
I can
is
make
enough.
some. I can in Acilio I can make some mistakes. Like, oh, I shouldn't have discarded that card, but I might just get bailed out by like some nonsense.
Yeah.
Gravy's doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Like you do one bad discard draw and you're like, oh, I'm so far behind now.
Yeah.
So kudos to all the Gravy players.
Yeah. I mean, I like
that
the
deck
deck.
looks
I
cool.
think it should stay around. I think it's just people are less
Yeah.
favored on it. But yeah, thanks again, man. We'll see you on the next one. The next top 8 you get in a few weeks, or what? Hell, win it. We'll get you back when you win.
I would be ecstatic to come
Yeah.
back with a win.
Bring that gold foil.
Another top 8.
Yeah.
Hopefully, that'd be cool.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. You have a good one.
Thanks. Yep. No blocks.
All right, guys. That is about it for this video. I do appreciate you guys sticking around this long. If you have, that means you must like it. You must like Drew. You must like RKO. Fab, something. I don't know. The lighting, that's pretty cool now, right? Anyways, if you are still around, I would appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment. I don't care what you say. Just say something. It really helps me out with the algorithm. So if you want to go ahead and do that, I appreciate it. Otherwise, you guys have a good rest of your day, night, weekend, New Year's. I don't know when you're watching this. Well, this has been No Blocks. I'm Robert. See you on the next one.